guys, Pugs, and today I decided to do a lineup of my OCs. Just as a mention real quick, this whole idea is inspired by Nyoko arts and her Galaxy Clan series, so I'd highly recommend checking them out. That also means I should probably clarify that these OCs are not clan gen related. I've had these OCs since, well, I think 3rd grade. I'm not too sure, but it's been for a while. This lineup takes place at the very beginning of a book I wrote a while back, and I hope to do another video of what Goldenclan looks like at the end of the book as well. With that, let's get into it. So, Barrystar's the first one up in StarClan. At the beginning of a book I wrote back in quarantine called Drizzlefer's Dread, the prologue details on how a large snowstorm is practically drowning out the camp. Barrystar got hypothermia during this while out on patrol and died trying to get back to camp. The clan's medicine cat finds him and brings him back to camp, but it's way too late to revive him at that point. Barrystar himself is a little bit of a jerk face though. He was controlling, manipulative, and cold, pun intended. Though this also made him a pretty good leader and put his clan in a position of power. You'll hear a little bit more about him later. Ooh, buddy. So Floodfog had it rough, man. He was picked as Goldenclan's deputy at a very young age, and only just after receiving his first apprentice. Barrystar had picked him as deputy as it was a trend between leaders at the time, trying to show the maturity in their youngest warriors. This stressed him out and led Floodfog to make a lot of wrong decisions, which also caused the death of his older brother Meadowsun during a border dispute with their neighbors' Bone Clan. When the snowstorm hit, Floodfog was horrified to learn that it was his turn to be leader, and he tried to convince the medicine cat that the storm had to be a prophecy, that he shouldn't lead. StarClan was telling him. And later on that night, the leader's den collapsed on him. So he was right. Alright, Petal Kit. Now this one is just the sad one. 2 of the clanmates I will detail more on later, Drizzlefer and Spotted Ear, are both the parents of Petal Kit. The she-kit was born still, unfortunately, and was named during her burial. On to the living. First we have Wingstar, a solid white tom with a pretty bad eye scar. Wingstar was originally named Wingflight and was chosen to be leader by the missing cat after both Barrystar and Floodfog's deaths. He's an older tom who is wise and has a good sense of humor. Much more of a pacifist than the previous leader, and a lot more gossipy. All the clans approved of his leadership and his choice in deputy. Overall, he's just a sweet guy, who's off to a really good start in his new role, letting Kits play with his big floppy ears and giving the apprentices a scare by opening up his scarred eye, which he had gotten from battling another leader, Bone Clan, which I mentioned earlier. They have their leader named Frozen Star. They both gave each other eye scars that day. And now I get to talk about Sandblossom, his mate. I've only ever sketched her out from the chest up and never with coloring, so I was playing around with that a little during this. I don't have much to say about her other than she's the perfect copy of calm and collected just like her mate. They plan on having kids soon after this. Oh, here is where I completely changed her original color, which I liked a lot more. I think it suits her. On to the deputy, Silverrock. This guy, dude, he was just born for leadership. He takes his role very seriously and loves the clan as if they were his own kids. His brother, Drizzlefer, although they look nothing alike, is very close to him, so they have a good relationship going. His apprentice, on the other hand, who I'll get into later, drives him absolutely nuts, and he is very much reconsidering taking her as his apprentice. He's also so ready to have her become a warrior soon, although it's gonna be a few moons until then. He strongly values respect and his apprentice has none of that. Also, as a little thing, he had a longtime crush, or has a longtime crush on Wingstar, but never has said anything to him due to him having a mate. He's never really had an interest on she-cats, so he's hoping for a day that they might work. Now onto our Medis, Mlink and Dapplepaw. Mlink is quite old now and is very grateful to have an extra set of paws in the medicine den, although Dapplepaw's nervous and hyper energy can be stressful sometimes. Mlink has never looked down on her for it though. Mlink has seen a lot during her years, including 2 leaderships die out. During this time, she actually had another apprentice a while before Dapplepaw was even born. Her last apprentice was named Applebelly. He decided he wanted to heal cats instead of hurt them after his mate had left the clan, and had only trained under her guidance for 3 moons before a battle with Falconclan, another neighboring clan, left him for dead. Because of this, Mlink made a new rule that all other medicine cats that they know must know how to defend themselves, even if they think they'll be spared as medicine cats. She's very strong-willed and a very knowledgeable cat. Now, with Dapplepaw, she's never really gotten to know all the other apprentices since she's a little bit older than the rest, and since she could never sit still long enough to learn more about them. She's constantly left, right, up, down, and gets super excited about everything. Until Barrystar's death and the birth of Petalkit, which both caused her to mellow out a little bit. Nonetheless, she's doing great so far, and is nearly ready for her full name. Also, another side note, Dapplepaw was originally named Sprinklepaw, which I don't know how they know what sprinkles are, unless if you think of like sprinkling rain, I guess, but Dapplepaw kind of fits her better. Now, Hollowberry and Badgerfrost, oof, if you enjoy drama, then you will like these 2. Specifically Hollowberry. Hollowberry has a lot of commitment issues and is very stubborn to admitting it. She refuses that anything she does is wrong, and if she does anything wrong, she'll direct the fault always to somebody else or push her wrongdoings and guilt onto someone else. A long while before this, Hollowberry had made a mistake and had one singular kit, Barrystar's kit, while with Badgerfrost. The kit was clearly the leader's, and it broke Badgerfrost's heart, who was a big lovable sweetheart. Hollowberry then neglected her kit after realizing how much it upset her mate, and forcibly had another litter that was Badgerfrost's this time to try to make up for it, though not wanting the kits. Badgerfrost still loved Barrystar's kit as though it was his own, but it hurts seeing the resemblance in not only looks, but behaviors. Now, as of the current image, Hollowberry just found out that she's pregnant with someone else's kit again. She hasn't told Badgerfrost, but he can tell something's wrong, which is very worrying to him. Though he's trying not to push her too much into telling him what. She's acting the exact same as the first time that she had done something wrong, and he knows this, and he has a gut feeling, but he's too much of a sweetheart to bring it up. Now this boy is Sparrow, and the she-cat beside him is his mate Blackflower. Sparrow, although he hates admitting it, has a ton of feminine features, which has led to him seeking out Blackflower as his mate. Blackflower is a much bigger boned she-cat, and he thought that the balance of that and his skinniness would help his insecurity, but since she's taller and a lot more fluffy than him, it made it worse. Most of the Toms in the clan are large and fluffy, and he's just not. Though, what he didn't expect is that he would actually fall in love with Blackflower, so oopsies, but you know, that's cute. He has some interesting morals, and is pretty straightforward and blank when it comes to emotional situations, but that's just how he works. Him and Blackflower both agree that they don't want kids in the future. Blackflower, although sweet, is a force to be reckoned with. Do not mess with this girl. She knows how to beat someone up, and she will find you. She's also super confident, which has led her into dumb injury situations, such as spraining her paw trying to leap ambitiously over a large log. Don't know. It's just a strange couple of cats that are still somehow lovable. Oh, and with Sparrow Call still design, I've only ever drawn him in 4th grade, so he had a complete redesign, which is why I was playing around with it. Yes! It's my wavy baby. Cloudy Glide is actually Wingstar's sister, calm and sweet just like him, but also super protective. The other clans view her as a soft princess type until, you know, they're in battle, and then it's, whoa, I went after the wrong cat sort of thing. Cloudy Glide is the one who mentored Silverrock, so she and him have a very special bond, her being more of a mother figure to him. Actually, scratch that, she's everyone's mother figure. Hope nothing horrible happens to her in the future. Not spoiling anything. But, yeah, I love her. Also, looking ahead at the other cats, all of these look very monotone. I swear there's more color that shows up later. It's just ironic with the clan's name being Golden. Hey, it's the boy that keeps getting mentioned, Jfer. Now, I drew Glowfeather close to him, but that's just for space, so I wanted to clarify, they aren't together. Jfer is a bit of a stumpy and chubby cat, but that doesn't mean he's any less of a threat when it comes to battle. He's more of a worrywart, if anything, who's very family-oriented. He loves his mate, although they don't always agree, and understands when tough decisions need to be made, no matter how uncomfortable it makes him. Oh, and make sure he's got good sleep. He's nice on a good night's sleep, but when he's tired, he can be such a pain to be in camp with. As mentioned before, he's very close to his brother, Silverrock, since they both only had each other growing up. Jfer has a lot coming his way, you know, with the book being about him and all, but I don't want to spoil. Oh, and another thing to remember, he's on pretty good terms with everyone. Doesn't necessarily hang out with everyone, but is still on good terms. Very early on, this is the only thing I'll spoil for now, Hollowberry tells Drizzlefer about her secret with her affair litter, and Drizzlefer doesn't know how to help, so he doesn't. This leads to a huge one-sided hatred between him and Hollowberry, and causes him to make an enemy. Now on to Glowfeather. I don't have much to say about her other than she's a very skilled mentor, very strong-willed, and conquers whatever task or challenge she's given. Now, here I have to spoil some things and explain things about the future and the creation of this world in general. Goldenclan, as I said, was created when I was little, and when I created it, it was originally alone, doing it by myself. My neighbor from across the street became good friends with me, so I introduced them to warriors and then my characters, and we ended up making a story together, and she actually made 5 characters, one of them being Glowfeather, and as you can tell, I was struggling so hard trying to come up with the design, since she's technically not my character. Spoilers, those references on the side are her future kits. I was trying to base it off of that. So yeah, refuse to detail more on what the future has in store for her. So my boy here, little angsty nugget, is the one kit Hollowberry had with Berry Star. Also just realized that they both have Berry in their name. Weird. Okay, anyway. Fern Catcher never really got the love and praise every kit needs growing up. He was outcasted for being the affair kit and even replaced when his younger siblings were born. It was infuriating to him that everyone was putting an issue on him that wasn't even his fault, so he turned his back on the clan. He hated his dad, he hated his mom, and only recognized Badger Frost to be his parent. All this anger and malice has turned him into a pretty fierce warrior, but he can get carried away in fights, and a lot of the time leave someone pretty badly injured, even if it's just training fights. Fingers crossed that he gets some therapy or something in the future, because, you know, all this angstiness could be dangerous. Also, with his design, I was trying to make him same colors as Berry Star, but it was just not fitting. I've never colored him before. So now on to Ripplecry. Her story is rough. The clan had originally found her in a puddle when she was a kid with no sign of any parents. Not the first time that Goldenclan had that happen, and certainly not the last. Brief thing here, Falconclan tends to just drop off kits or elders or any weak warriors whenever prey gets low because they think it's a good way to cope with the outage, but none of the other clans are aware of this. Ripplecry is a result of this. The she-cat didn't have anyone at the time to wean her in Goldenclan, so by the time she was old enough to eat solid food, she had already had a back and forth relationship with BoneClan, who tried to take her back when she was an apprentice since they thought it was only fair having fed her when she was little. Ripplecry has mixed feelings about both the clans because of this and doesn't really feel like she fits into either. She tries her best to keep a calm manner but has a lot going through her head at all times. The clan doesn't have much of an opinion about her. Now on to Half-Hail and Fidgetmint. These two are the siblings of Fern Catcher and the children of Hollowberry and Badgerfrost, the second litter. Although they were the make-up children to try to bring the family back together, these two didn't grow up with much love other than Badgerfrost's. Hollowberry didn't actually want to care for them and thought they were rather annoying, if anything. When Half-Hail was a kid, his mother had kicked him out of her nest because he had been complaining about wanting someone to play moss ball with. Half-Hail chose to be mute after this and hasn't muttered a word since. Fidgetmint, on the other hand, took her mother's annoyance as a sign to get louder. If she's not talking, she's either eating or sleeping, and even then she's probably talking. She's constantly trying to seek attention and love by snuggling up close to friends, or by rolling in dirt to get a reaction, saying weird things, or just being goofy in general. She's not so good at battle, or hunting, or any task really that she's given. She tends to flunk them all, but does it with a smile regardless. Also, later on, I lighten up Fidgetmint's coat. I was trying to take the color off of Badgerfrost, but how I'd already always depicted her was a lighter coat. So yeah, on the final thing at the end of the video, you'll see that she's a lot lighter colored. Ooh, now onto the apprentices. That took a small bit. Branchpaw here is just a wreck. He gets jumpy at everything and can't seem to hurt a fly, or a mouse, I guess in this case. He's thought about becoming a medicine cat before, but knows that the idea of memorizing herbs just scares him even more, so he'd rather just finish his training, even if he feels bad hurting any sort of prey. His current mentor is Glowfeather, who's very patient with him, but is also worried about how far behind he is in training, with him being so close to warrior age. Fun fact, Branchpaw's original name was Coconut Paw, and later Coconut Claw. I ended up changing this because there's no way, anyone in the area knows what a coconut is. Also, that name just trips me up. Oh, so here's the gang. Oh my gosh, where do I start? Dirtpaw there at the front is the brother of Mudpaw, and Zebrapaw, don't ask me why they know what a zebra is and not a coconut. I honestly have no idea. I just don't want to change her design because she's meant to look like a zebra, and I love it. Anyway, Zebrapaw and Vinepaw are sisters. With that in mind, remember the medicine cat I mentioned a while back named Applebelly, who died after 3 months of training? He's Mudpaw and Dirtpaw's dad. Their mother, named Magpie Quiver, had left them to become a rogue and has now been named Mandy by local Two Legs. She named her sons after the way she felt about them, but everyone hoped it was more of a fur color sort of thing, with Dirtpaw and Mudpaw. Dirtpaw is super sweet and sensitive, like Vinepaw there in the corner. Well, Mudpaw is the complete opposite and hurts people to get reactions, just like Zebrapaw. Anyone outside the clan would mistake Dirtpaw and Vinepaw as siblings, same with Mudpaw and Zebrapaw, just based on personality and behavior alone. Zebrapaw and Vinepaw, on the other hand, don't know anything about their origins, for reasons I won't disclose for now. Lastly, we have our one current queen, Spotted Ear. She's the mate of Jfer and the mother of Meadowkit and Floppykit. Spotted Ear is a majorly stubborn she-cat, as is most of the she-cats in Goldenclan. She sticks to her word, and she'll stick to yours. She'll remember you breaking a promise, so don't. She enjoys hunting and is the best the clan knows of. So when she learned that she was having kids, she freaked out. She hates the idea of being confined into a den for 6 moons and doesn't think that she can raise kids. She can barely find the motivation to groom her own matted coat, let alone teach her own babies how to groom their own pelts, but she doesn't take it back now that they're born. She hates being stuck, yes, but she loves her sons and doesn't blame them at all for her boredom. Jfer was with her every step of the way, and even stays in the nursery sometimes so that she can stretch her legs and hunt. Spotted Ear is also very particular about weird, random things, such as wanting her sons' names to be unique, which Floppykit kind of took the cake with that. The kids I don't have much to say on currently, since they're very little, but let's just say that they can be little rascals. Especially Meadowkit. Alrighty, there's Goldenclan in its beauty, for now. I hope y'all enjoyed me being a little bit nerdy about my OCs for a bit, and if anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer in the comments. I also want to note as well that the book Jfer's Dread, which I kept bringing up, I apologize for that, will be put in the description in time. I need to go through and edit some things due to someone messing around with the doc, but I will put up a community post when I do get it in the description, so if anyone wants to know, that's when it'll be up. Once again, I hope y'all enjoyed. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your day.